Hakuna usiloweza. The Lord asked, is there anything too hard for me? What do you know is the question. And that beautiful song just ushered us into that moment of reminding ourselves of the power of God, that nothing is impossible for God. I mean, yesterday, that was just the word I kept receiving, that nothing is impossible with God. I don't know what that means for you. I don't know what situation you have found yourself in and maybe felt like, you know what, my strength here cannot do me any good. There is nothing that is impossible with God. You can still shine. You can still move from, glory to glory, from grace to grace. You're not going from grace to grace. No, grace to grace. You will keep shining and rising as long as you believe and you know truly that nothing is impossible with God. So let us get into the word of the day today, and not the word, hey, Javeni, me and the word. Anyway, we are going to get into the newspapers. Newspapers, yes. The Daily Nation here is starting us off with senior school fees shocker for parents. Nothing there to smile about. And I see here the word here is telling us that the state slashes free learning capitation from 22,244 shillings to 12,870 shillings for all students. So, of course, we are just getting down into understanding what now ended the 49-day lecturer strike. It's good news that the strike ended, but then this has come with its implication, and that means that parents will have to dig deeper into their pockets so that they can, take care of the expense that has been slashed off from the capitation funds. And I see here what's in the deal. Let's just get down into the nitty-gritties of the deal that ended the 49-day strike. Number one is that the government will pay 7 billion. Is it? Yeah, 7,761 1,931,687 in 2 equal trenches. And I also see that academic calendar recovery, universities will reorganize calendars to recover lost time and restore normal operations. Salaries, benefits, entitlements, and union dues for September and October 2025 will be paid by November the 10th. That is next week. And then no staff will be victimized for participating in the strike. And lastly, staff whose contracts were terminated for participating in the strike will be reinstated. And I see here more information covered on pages 2 and 3 tells us that after nearly 2 months of paralysis that disrupted learning for over 600,000 students in public universities, lecturers and varsity staff yesterday called off their strike after intense negotiations and signing of a return to work formula. The agreement came as students had already gone back home, while some universities had cancelled their semester. So it's an interesting time because schools have closed, in most parts of the country. So that means that even universities had felt, you know what, I don't think we're going to go back, and December is already approaching. There's only little that they can do for the remaining part of the year. And I see here the changes here for 1,130,669 pioneers of the competency-based education progress to the next level will hit the pockets of their parents and guardians hard, as a majority of them will now be required to pay higher fees. In new guidelines released by the Education Ministry, learners in day schools will, for the first time since 2015, pay 9,374 annually, while those in all boarding institutions will be charged a flat rate of 53,554 each. This is a story covered on pages 4 and 5. This is not related to the lecturer strike in any way. This is now talking about the senior school fees. That now means that the learning capitation has gone down, and that means parents having to go back to their pockets. But of course, we have to be reminded that God is indeed our provider, that even when they reduce the amount of money that they are giving by like 10,000 or so, we can still get back up and God will still provide for all that is required. And Coming down into the politics, I see Ruto's political conundrum, ODM blackmail and 2027 bid here, telling us a fresh demand by ODM to lay claim to the deputy president's seat in any deal with UDA has complicated the political puzzle for President William Ruto, who must make new alliances while maintaining a tight grip on his old bases. A story covered on page 7. We don't know how these elections will go. It is the time that we need to pray earnestly, ahead of these elections, because we've seen what has happened with Tanzania. We don't know what will happen with Uganda. So at this juncture, at this time, it's time for us to pray really hard ahead of the 2027 elections. Page 8 here is covering something to do with the aftermath of the election in Tanzania. He said, "We are afraid to leave our homes." Kenyans in Tanzania are crying out. They say they are facing hostility in a country they have always considered home. This is a story covered on page 8 of the Daily Nation. And let's keep praying even for those people who are living in Tanzania that are Kenyans. I know this is a hard time for them. And also I see on the story that we've been covering for the past few days, and this is a call to help and assist. This is on, the Elgeyo Marakwet tragedy, the landslide that happened. I see here more hardship for landslide survivors. They are going without food, water, or medical help as humanitarian workers struggle to reach them amid treacherous conditions. So it's not easy. So we should pray and also help out in any way that we can. And I also see here more stories that are being reported. Of course, one has really caught my attention is the new political party called, with Sufuria. As it's like the slogan, we have a sufuria there. Actually, a new political outfit named Kenya Great Party, KGP, whose symbol is a sufuria, a cooking pot, has applied for registration, a move that has provoked public intrigue among Kenyans still familiar with the 2023 anti-government protest led by Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance. Of course, we saw the Boda Boda and the Mama Mboga illustration being used. So this one now is using sufuria, and their colors are gray, light blue, white, and its slogan is Kikazi Kipya. So this party has been registered by about 6 Kenyans. That is Mercy Njeri Chomba, Sheila Jemutai, David Mwiruri Njoroge, Ivan Matunda, Bundi Pitangwe, and Nasra Osman Ibrahim. And of course, the Registrar of Political Parties, John Cox Lorinoko, the office confirmed receiving an application for the provisional registration of the party. And this is covered on the Daily Nation, showing us a picture of a lady holding a sufuria and also mwiko there. It's an interesting time, with the parties that have been registered. So let's keep watching and seeing as the story unfolds. Now, let's come down to the Standard newspaper. The top page here is saying, "Help, we are dying. Mr. President, don't turn your back." This is a cry here as the world's deadliest war grinds on. Kenya's forgotten sons are bleeding on the Russian front lines, trapped by deceit and abandoned by diplomacy. President William Ruto and Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, who vowed swift action nearly 2 weeks ago, have gone silent as families drown in anguish, begging for news of their children. This is quite unfortunate, and we see pictures here even of parents who are worried, not knowing how things have gone for them. We can only pray that the Lord protects them, that even when they're in the front line of that war, that indeed they will be protected. And let's keep praying for them, and also hoping and praying that indeed the president is going to take action with regards to the same. And looking at the Business Daily this morning, we also get to see maybe a bit of highlights here that are business related. NSE valuation nears 3 trillion shillings milestone as shares surge. That's being reported on the Business Daily. Also, why Kenya Power is rationing electricity to some areas. It's important for us to be informed of the same. That's a story covered on page 2. And I also see here hiring stalls despite strong business activity jump. Kenya snubs NAB's 129 billion shillings UAE loan for Eurobonds. And lastly, CAK or K's French investors 3.5 billion shillings telco power in farm deal. And I also see Michael Masharia here on the intelligence pullout saying every founder must become a lifelong student. And in Africa, that learning must start from the first spark of a startup. Beautiful, beautiful feature right there. So you can have a look at it and also be informed about what is happening in our nation and also beyond. We also have news right here on Hope TV at 7 p.m. and also at 9 p.m. That means you can keep in touch and get to be on the know about what is being, experienced in different parts of the country. Just something to emphasize on. Let's keep praying for those who are facing difficulty in Elgeyo Marakwet. Every day when you're praying, just wake up and pray for them. Pray for those who are going through a hard season, due to the landslide that has claimed so many lives, and many are still struggling. They don't have food, they don't have shelter, they don't have medical attention. And if you can help them, even in kind, you can also do that. You can find ways to assist them, especially those who are near those areas. So let us keep praying for the people of Kenya, those who have experienced a really difficult time due to the landslide. And also let us remember to pray also for the elections that are nearby in 2027. And also let us thank God that the lecturer strike has come to an end, and we pray that it will remain like that, and that children will continue to learn and study so that they can advance in their education. So that's it for the newspaper review. Let's now have a look at the video of the day.